Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like SOME.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review. Available for Android and iOS devices. bravocoin.com. CoinFlip, the world's best Bitcoin ATM. Better service, better fees. Better visit coinflip.tech today. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like SOME.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review. Available for Android and iOS devices. bravocoin.com. CoinFlip, the world's best Bitcoin ATM. Better service, better fees. Better visit coinflip.tech today. All right, we're live, guys. We're live.
Hi, Kenneth.
Hey, all right. So how goes it, bros? I'm Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today I'm with these two bros, which are actually bros, Jen and Nick. How goes it?
Yeah, very great. Thanks, Ken.
Hey,
How are you
guys.
doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate you guys accepting to come on the podcast here and just have like a fireside chat. I ran across you on YouTube recently and Twitter, and I was like, yo, these guys look pretty neat, and you guys are coming from a different space and place in the world, and I wanted to see what your stories were, man. So first off, I guess take a turn and introduce each other, introduce yourselves to the audience. Maybe let them know how you got into crypto, a little bit of pre-story and what you've been doing since you got in.
Okay, cool. You go first. Nick, you can go
Okay.
first.
Well, I got into crypto about late 17, so just before the bull run. So I got a little bit of the bull run, and then of course I got a bag full of shitcoins.
Yeah, you have more of a bear market than you did of a bull market, eh?
Yeah. I learned a lot since then. And before that, I learned you had like the big economic crisis in 2007, 2008. That's when I started learning about economics, because I actually have a background in philosophy.
Oh, cool.
So I wanted to know about what the hell happened back then. And then I came across crypto, and then I waited, and then crypto got bigger, at least Bitcoin did. And then I said, okay, Jan, we have to get into crypto. That's how I got in. And yeah.
Well, Nick and I are brothers. We've got a background in retail, and I'm a retail manager. And we both love macroeconomics, and we talked a lot during drinking beer.
Nice.
Yeah,
Real life from
yeah,
Amsterdam.
we're from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, so we have beer and wheat over here. Um, well, we drank a lot of beer and we talked a lot about crypto before we got in, maybe for 2 or 3 years. But I'm a doer, so we have to do something with our talk. And we started Bitcoin Live as a YouTube channel. We had 30 followers that were friends and family.
We did in Dutch.
We talked in Dutch. Nobody liked it, but we
That's
did.
why I liked it. I saw that and I was like, people are putting out different content, man. You know, a lot of a lot of content on crypto is in English, and it's really bottleneck for the
Yeah,
information to get out there to the people around the world. When we're talking about a worldwide currency, not something local to a language like English or Chinese, even.
Yeah, that was our idea too. We saw a couple of videos from Antonopoulos, and he said, "You do have to do it in your own language to spread the message." So we said, "Okay, then we have our own niche in
It's
Dutch."
it's funny you mentioned that because that's what made me think about a lot of other languages is content creators like Andreas Antonopoulos, Tone Vase, and other people
yeah,
actually have their content translated into other languages and put it on
Yeah,
YouTube.
yeah,
um,
Yeah, so
well,
you
and then
guys could do that. You could do transcripting. You know, you could take
yeah.
somebody's YouTube video and transcribe it for your
Well,
language.
what we do is sometimes you have very important Dutch news on crypto, and we do try to translate that as quickly as possible into English, so the English community can read what happened with the Dutch National Bank or the Central Bank of
Yeah.
Holland
Yeah, what's
and
going
stuff
on
like
over
that.
there with crypto and stuff? I'm curious. Is everybody as big on Bitcoin as you guys are? Or is it still like very
Well,
subtle?
The Dutch are
Split.
yeah, they're split, but there's a lot of crypto adoption in the Netherlands, and especially in Amsterdam and a few other cities.
Yeah.
A lot of people who are yeah, developing as well, like a project like Grin, for example, the Mimblewimble.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's from Holland, and there are a few other. Factom is a Dutch platform.
Oh, that's
Well,
what's up. I didn't know that about Fact. I actually got to hang out with those guys a few times actually the past few years, mostly in Texas.
yeah,
Well,
well,
Big Fury is, I think, located in
yeah,
Amsterdam still, and Plan B is from Amsterdam,
yeah,
the one and only.
the stock to flow model
Respect.
guy. Yeah,
That is awesome. So, like, I know cannabis is pretty, acceptable in Amsterdam where you guys are.
yeah,
And here in the US, it's pretty much 50-50, but it's a real big talking point for cryptocurrency as a use as currency, because dispensaries can't accept, like, Visa cards. And we have a lot of problems with, like, the legalized level at which
yeah,
cannabis is.
yeah.
Is that something that's a topic of conversation in, like, Amsterdam where, like, Bitcoin for cannabis is a thing? Or because it's so legal, is it not so much of a topic of conversation?
Yeah,
No, not in that way, because you can buy weed on almost every corner of the street legally.
You guys need a
No,
roommate?
no,
Yeah,
you could come over and we'll show you. But so it's not very important in that scene. It is used in the cannabis scene also, because at the Bitcoin, how do you say it, the ATMs.
yeah, we have like 14 ATMs or maybe
Yeah,
20, I think,
20
even.
in Amsterdam. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Well, we got to
Um,
get CoinFlip out there, man. They got Bitcoin ATMs all over.
yeah,
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 yeah.
that would be great.
Yeah,
Really.
if you guys know of places, I know a couple Bitcoin ATM machine companies that actually pay people like you to find places to put them, and
Okay.
they pay the store to keep the ATM there. So everybody makes money. Nobody has to pay for the machine, really.
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't have many Bitcoin ATMs, that's definitely an idea because we're potentially running closer to this bull run here with the halving
Yeah,
and a lot of
yeah,
pressure coming. It almost feels like a pinball being pulled back by a slingshot, waiting
yeah,
to take
yeah,
off. Wouldn't hurt to go out and see, if a lot of these businesses want to throw a Bitcoin ATM in their store, the same way they
yeah,
have like a regular ATM.
yeah,
Yeah, maybe in supermarkets
yeah, as well.
if they would accept it. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm curious about and I didn't want to start on this note. That's kind of why I'm segueing into it now, guys.
Yeah,
But with everything that's happening with this COVID-19 and
yeah,
coronavirus
yeah,
and stuff, everywhere, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, they want to go cashless. People don't
yeah,
even want to shake your hand, let alone take money from your hand.
yeah,
People are more germophobic now than ever. So to have Bitcoin ATM, at a grocery store last year, that sounded ridiculous. This year sounds very
yeah,
reasonable considering people are more or less likely to stay away from physical cash.
yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
We
Yeah,
actually did a video on why Bitcoin is excellent with this COVID crisis because you have no banking personnel, so it's nobody coming together in a bank so no chance for the virus to spread. And of course, you just have a lot of servers, just a few people for a lot of servers. And of course, it's cashless, so you don't have to touch it. It's very easy to transmit. So it's excellent in this environment.
And I think governments will want to transition to cashless society, and they don't want to have Bitcoin or another crypto, but they sure do want to have CBDCs.
Yeah, I was wondering what you guys think about like Ripple and the upcoming CBCD or whatever, like all these things. Is that something that's pretty popular of a conversation even over there? Is that are your banks pretty big on this?
Our central bank was a skeptic, but they tried it out, and they want to bring their own CBDC and a sort of Bitcoin of their own. So two CBDCs.
I thought that was going to happen here in the U.S. too, man. As soon as I started hearing them playing around with XRP and Ripple and everything, I'm like, they're literally going to take what you're doing, copy and paste, do it on their own, and tell you to go away when they're done using you. I mean, this isn't a permanent utility for XRP. This is a very small testing ground, and then once they're done testing, that's it. XRP has no more use case in the world because the banks have just done it themselves.
That's pretty scary though.
A little bit, but it also incentivizes more utility for Bitcoin, right? If the banks get more and more power, people are going to feel more and more incentivized, right, to kind of get out of the corner they're being pushed into. Like if you corner a dog into a wall, they'll keep going and going until they can't get in, and then next thing you know, they lash out. That's the American or the world population at this point. I mean, we're looking at a worldwide depression. You know, the world economy is crashing. And there was my cousin actually turned me on to this. I watched a video on Event 201 or 210 or something. And it's basically an epidemic, sort of like a simulator for pandemics. And they pretty much predicted 5 months ago something like this was going to happen and do about 30 to 40% damage to the economy. And well, look, the NASDAQ and everything is hurting. And yeah, I mean, this could actually, if the banks did do a CBCD, they could actually start the snowball of pushing more people to a decentralized currency.
Yeah, a lot of people would have been, if they do that, a lot of people will be using cryptocurrency as a matter of fact. And the step to a real crypto would be very small.
Yep. We've seen this happen in the U.S. with state dollars. When America was first forming, every state had their own currency. And if you went from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, you'd have to exchange your Pennsylvania dollar for your New Jersey dollar. This could happen with state level cryptocurrencies to a federal level cryptocurrency, but people are still going to use what they want or what they choose to. And that's the beauty of crypto is you could choose to use XRP. I could choose to use Bitcoin. They could choose to use Litecoin. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's the ability to actually have the choice. That's what matters.
And there's a lot of different cryptos out there. We got bags full of different kind of cryptos.
So how long have you been stacking bags? Did you like start really with Bitcoin, or did you kind of start already out of the gate with like experimenting with altcoins and stuff?
We did both.
Both. He's a little bit more with safe coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum and
the bigger ones.
Like
Decred. Nice. Respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Decred's a sleeping giant. I think people aren't ready for stuff like Decred yet, but that's because we have to see what bugs we run into with pre-existing proof of work or proof of stake, and then we can see what the hybrids really have to offer. But until then, any good tool, you could have a fire extinguisher under your sink for 10 years. If you never have a kitchen fire, was it really useful? We're waiting for the fires till Decred whips out that and just starts putting it out.
Yeah, but that's a great governance model. I think that's a really interesting coin, and a lot of people don't even know about it.
I love their fork resistance. They're fork resistant, and people just can't fathom that. They're just like, well, if Bitcoin forked, how the hell can't you? Like, you're a scam.
Well, we had a talk this morning with Andy Leon from Blockcast CC, and he also said stuff like that a lot of cryptos are scams, but there's also a lot of coins people or platforms or blockchains people don't know about who are maybe even better than a lot of top 20 coins. I personally like the Holo. It's not a real crypto, but Holo Hot HOT. It's yeah, I think it's a really amazing project. I've got bags and bags and bags full of it.
See, I've done the same thing. I could care less about like the currency or
Yeah,
the token. I care about the platform, the project, and their goal.
yeah,
You know, and if
yeah,
this project has an amazing goal, I'll throw a
yeah,
couple bucks at it just to support them, like a GoFundMe, and
yeah,
I get a
yeah,
receipt for supporting them, which is a
yeah,
cryptocurrency that might gain value if the project is
yeah,
successful. Same thing as like a GoFundMe, Patreon, things to that effect. And I
yeah,
don't really look at it like, oh, I'm gonna buy a shit ton of game credits and I'm gonna make money. Like I thought game credits was an amazing project in like 2017. I thought that was the first ICO, I should mention, like the first ICO I ever even looked at. And I bought a bunch of it and I made a YouTube video where I think I made like 1700% returns or something stupid. It was
wow,
a
that's
dumb
good.
number, dumb number. And I was just like, I did not buy these tokens to make money. I just did it because I wanted to support the project. But look at the
Yeah,
result of my, me caring financially. I get financial
yeah,
caring back. And it was really kind of like eye opening for me to be like, all right, so, and this is the thing, everything is and isn't a scam. Sort of like
yeah,
Schrodinger's
that's
cat.
true.
You know, the Schrodinger's cat, the cat in the box, is it dead or
Mhm.
alive? It is at the same time both dead and
Yeah,
alive until you
yeah,
open the box to look. And that's pretty much every blockchain project out there, including fucking Bitcoin. Everything
yeah,
is a scam until it's not. It has to
yeah,
prove itself over and over and over again to not be a scam.
Yeah,
Uh,
well,
yeah,
look at the fiat money.
Yo,
yeah,
facts, bro, facts. And that's the thing is, people will say, "Oh, this crypto thing, it's got to be a scam. I can't figure out where, but it's got to be because the thing
yeah,
I'm using already is definitely a scam, and it's written all over." So it's like, I get it. It turns people off. It's almost like too much honesty is too
yeah,
disingenuous, right? Like if you go to
yeah,
meet somebody and you're just a really nice person, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this dude's so full of shit. He's just trying to get me to like him." And that's what I
yeah,
think people are like with Bitcoin. When we start
yeah,
talking about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology, it is such an amazing and powerful technology. It
yeah, true.
sounds like bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, it's kind of funny that you say that because oftentimes when I try to convince people, you often feel like a second-hand salesman or
yeah,
like a car salesman, or you feel like you're a Jehovah Witness or
Dude, this guy, I love this guy already, guys. Yes, I am we are the Jehovah Witnesses of
yeah.
money and nobody likes us.
no,
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 that's true.
you're knocking on the
Yeah,
door. Yeah, yeah, right. Go
go
on.
away. Get your
Yep.
foot out of the door. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but here,
Always
do you
want to
want to? Do you have
sell.
time to talk about our Lord and Savior Satoshi Nakamoto?
Yeah.
You're right, man.
Yeah,
That is exactly how I feel, and I feel like sometimes the world may look at us almost like we're the vegans of money. You know,
yeah,
you know, we're trying to shame people into having a better, healthier financial lifestyle, and it's almost it's almost pompous. You know, like,
yeah,
oh, the banks can confiscate your money. You're a sucker, and you're just like, shut up, dude. They have like, you're no, and then see, the banks won't let people take out when this pandemic lockdown started. You couldn't get $1,000 out of a bank. They had
yeah.
a
That's
they had a
true.
limit, and then people started to realize, oh shit, like I got actual things I need to buy. I need money in my hand.
You
They
get
won't give
allowed.
me my money. What else
Yeah,
can I do? And this is where they're like, oh, this whole Bitcoin scam thing doesn't look so much like a scam anymore.
yeah. Or oil. They paid you to get to take oil off their hands. Who would have thought oil would turn negative? Negative.
I think China
Yeah.
was predicting that. I think
Yeah.
there, like I said, there was a lot of simulations for these pandemics, and I feel like a lot of that was probably in the analytics of that simulation where they could predict certain industries. I mean, if you
Yeah.
have a lockdown, 90% of your population isn't driving, isn't using gas.
Yeah.
Then you have the truck drivers, the supply chain. The supply chain's on hold because you don't want to get any dirty products onto clean shelves. So this was easily predictable that, oil is going to be screwed horribly during
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So I'm sure other countries probably banked on this. There's a lot of
Yeah.
futures market manipulation happening with
Yeah.
May. and I think we'll see what really comes of this story in June. If
Yeah,
we see
it
the
will
oil
turn
go
worse.
from them paying you to charging you $30 and it going past all-time highs, and yeah,
Yeah.
clear market manipulation in the works happening here, but yeah, I think going towards like with the oil conversation, when we talk to people and we try to I don't like to say convince as much as I like to say like just educate them.
Explain.
Although yeah,
Yeah.
explain, it does feel like we're trying to convince people, although we're just repeatedly trying to inform, not so
Yeah.
much convince, but the information that we provide sometimes isn't accepted the way it needs to be accepted to be digested and understood, so it's repeated. And I think saying like Bitcoin is digital gold may be
Yeah.
the biggest detriment to Bitcoin. I think calling Bitcoin gold is holding Bitcoin back from mass adoption intellectually, from
Yeah.
grasping it as a
Yeah.
concept in your mind's eye and then applying it into reality as a physical use case. It's this discouraging. And then you see Ethereum is oil, Bitcoin is gold, and then the oil market is Ethereum still oil, guys? I mean, do you want to keep that analogy, and is that going to be something you want to tell people next month when you're talking to them about Ethereum and how Ethereum's the new oil, and people are like, yeah, but oil just got fucked. And like, all right, we need to use new analogies. So I'm just curious, like, without using Bitcoin is gold or Ethereum is oil, how do you kind of explain Bitcoin to people that don't know anything about like cryptocurrency? How do you try to bring it into their understanding?
What I try to do with people really first were negative about everything that's crypto or don't know anything about the economy. I said, well, when you have euros, we have euros here in the Netherlands or dollars in America, and you print about 6 billion of them, or you have 21 million apples, which is more valuable? And then people really start to think, okay, and then the euros or the dollars were apples too. If you have 21 million apples and a few get eaten or rotten because of you lost your keys, and you only have maybe 18 million apples left, instead of 8 billion, and we'll print some more the next month because this COVID pandemic is going on. Well, then it's maybe it's easier to visualize it, but still people cannot easily accept that something a central bank does or a government does could be bad for them. In countries that are in the West, like the Netherlands, it's well, we have a roof over our head and good food, and
They look outside and
everything looks normal. So why would you?
Do you
It's
have
like
do you have a pretty big homeless population or homeless problem over there? Because in the U.S., I mean, you could pick one out of any state. You just randomly has a huge homeless population. I'm just curious because if you were to go outside and find a homeless guy, he may have a different opinion of that central bank.
Yeah, true. Well, we have more homeless people than we used to have, but in the Netherlands, we have a lot of tax pressure and social benefits and stuff. So we, to a certain amount, we take care of them, so they're not always in the streets. They have a shelter at night, and
now with COVID, a lot of that stuff is closed. Also with economic crisis of developing, you see.
But still, if you compare it to even other European countries, the Netherlands looks really tidy, and people do get food and clothing and stuff. So
your banks may be doing a way better job than ours. Or as our banks would probably say, your bank sucks. Our banks are doing so much better at ripping people off.
Yeah, some people say that. Some people say that, well, it's your choice. And what you said, I think because of large financial institutions and governments print money, it will benefit the richest people in the world and not the people who are underneath or just going to their jobs every day from 9 to 5.
Well, right now that is becoming glaringly obvious that the rich are getting much richer, and the middle class is getting wiped out at the moment.
Even in Holland, after the COVID-19 is gone, in a few months there won't be any middle class.
Yeah, we have 25 million people filed for unemployment, and millions are filing every day.
But a lot of people still think when this is over,
We'll get
they'll
back to
just
work.
get back to work and everything will be fine again. And
I think there's
and
going to be a brand new economy after this. New
yeah,
jobs that didn't exist. There's going to be disinfecting companies that are going to, you know how they have like a cleaning company that comes in and cleans like the shopping center floors? Well, there's going to be another company that comes in after that and they're going to disinfect the shelves, the products. They're going to go into the back and disinfect the warehouses. You're going to have people cleaning the streets and like in China and in Wuhan and Thai, like, they have people walking around with almost looks like leaf blower and they're blowing
yeah,
smoke
yeah.
that's disinfectant all over like the bushes and the buses. And I think that there could be a brand new
Well,
millions and millions of jobs that come from this because of the preparations to keep it from happening again, right? Like how many cleaning companies are going to pop up out of the blue?
but Jan and me, we also had a lot of talks about it. And before COVID came, you already had a lot of talks about AI, robotics, drones, that were going to cost a lot of jobs anyway. You know, lots of jobs would be disappearing.
Yep, this
So
expedited the process. That's all. It
yeah,
just it's kind of like a leapfrog just a few months into the future of what would have
yeah.
happened inevitably anyway.
And now people will be cheering, you know, when robots come along and they'll do the jobs because they don't have to go outside because there's a virus and they have to stay inside. So you can roll out all the robotics and AI and drones and stuff.
People will celebrate before it.
Yeah, for finding the solutions to the
You know
problem.
what's funny is this, and again, I looked at that event. I think it's called 210 or 201 or something. Definitely interesting to check out. Bill Gates did a pandemic simulation 5 or 6 months ago, and it's pretty much to the T, the
Yeah,
simulations and stuff, man.
but
Um,
kind of creepy.
huh?
Kind of creepy.
It is though. It's way
Yeah,
creepy, man. Like to see that they're kind of playing a game with our lives, at a massive level, and to some extent, it almost feels like this is a economic forest fire being controlled. Like if you have a forest fire, they set a fire around the fire
yeah,
to suffocate the bigger problem. And this
yeah,
sort of feels like that's what they're doing with our economy is by closing the economy, shutting it off, hitting that
yeah,
reset
yeah,
button, they're
yeah,
basically controlling the
yeah.
fire.
It's controlled demolition, I think,
Thank you. Yeah,
because
economic controlled demolition. Fuck yeah,
yeah,
bro.
because you know this crisis, the recession that was already predicted last year, there would be a major recession this year, and probably they thought, well, we have to reset it anyway,
Let's do
so
it now.
let's do it now.
Yep. While we
Everybody,
have a good place to do it, right? Why wait
and,
until it's the worst?
and you have an excuse. You can say it's not our fault, it's the COVID
It's the
crisis.
virus.
Otherwise everything will be fine.
Right, yeah, don't blame us. Don't blame the government. Don't blame anybody in charge. Blame the invisible enemy, because that's what Trump
Yeah,
keeps calling it. He calls it our invisible enemy. And did you know my president has a fucking imaginary friend that he really talks to in real press conferences for real? If you don't believe me, Google President Trump, imaginary friend. The dude literally talks to an invisible guy. And so
it
now
doesn't
he's
surprise
making
me.
this invisible enemy the best scapegoat for an economic collapse in human history. Period. Like unemployment at 25 million in the U.S. only, bro.
Yeah, that's
That
what,
if there was no virus, there would be protests in the street.
Yeah,
People would be
right.
rioting. They would be marching. They would be looting and protesting because of the economic situation they're in with the amount of unemployment. But because
but
there's
also
an
imagine
enemy out
you got
there, there's the Joker. The Joker's out there.
yeah,
He's gonna get you.
yeah, but also people right now they are locked in their own house, you know, so they can't demonstrate outside. If you
We're
go
not
out and
allowed.
demonstrate, and they say, yeah, you bring people in danger by spreading the virus, so stay safe at home. You know, it's divide and conquer.
Right, and
I
if you
think.
don't listen, they're gonna put you in a jail cell with a bunch of people without
Yeah,
masks,
Yeah.
and you can't get 6 feet away from each other in a jail cell. So it's very hypocritical at best.
Yeah.
yeah,
True.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But
just
I think it's really crazy how everything comes together in just the right way. Uh, yeah, makes you wonder.
Well, that's the problem with conspiracy theories.
Yeah,
They start off as sort of such a meme and such a joke, and it
yeah,
desensitizes us to the situation. By the time it kind of feels like it's a real thing, it almost has that. It's like a movie. It isn't real.
yeah,
I just watched a guy get his head blown off. But it's just a movie. It's not even
yeah,
real. And that's sort of how I feel like they keep playing out everything for us is by the time it really hits us in our faces,
yeah,
we get the same desensitized reaction to where like, oh, it's not even real, like Benghazi. That's still conspiracy theory. That's been
yeah,
proven. Like Hillary is
yeah,
an evil person. But it's
yeah,
still a conspiracy because of the way it started. They make it a taboo topic of conversation from the get go. And yeah, man, I think, Bitcoin had, and finally I think broke that mold because Bitcoin,
yeah, yeah,
when I say the word Bitcoin in public maybe a year ago, it instantly sounds like drugs. Like people
yeah,
just hear drugs,
Criminal.
or
criminal,
murder, or
yeah,
kills babies and shit. And
yeah,
now when I say Bitcoin, people think Wall Street, they think stock
yeah,
market, they think futures market. It
yeah,
completely broke this stigma that the mainstream tried to like nail it down to. And
yeah,
I think that we do have a long way to go still, but we've come so far that
yeah,
Bitcoin is not too big to fail, but has come too far to not
yeah,
keep going. We're
yeah,
not going
totally.
to digress here. And
We're on
speaking,
the threshold.
right?
We're on the threshold for maybe main adoption. So we're in the first, going to the first 15%, 16%, and then if people will get in, you'll go in a few years. You'll go to 80%.
No,
And
we still don't even have the oddities market involved. The guys that are out there investing into like Furbies and Pokemon cards and stuff, they don't even buy Bitcoin yet. Wait till we get 5% of just the oddities market and
yeah,
then, start to get that mass adoption. Right now, I think we're at the pinnacle point of mass awareness. The world is
yeah,
aware. And now I think that's going to start the mass interest. So first we have
yeah,
mass awareness, then we have mass interest, then we get mass adoption. You can't
yeah,
skip those two stages and go right to utility because people don't even know. And I love the argument, well, you won't even have to know what you're using. You're gonna have to know what you're using. People know when they use PayPal, they're using the US dollar. It's not
yeah,
that hidden that you don't know you're using dollars when you send Venmo. You need to know what you're doing, and people are going to need to learn from their awareness to interest to adoption rates. And to kind of touch on the adoption rates, do you guys actually use Bitcoin? Like, do you spend it? Do you get paid in
Well,
it?
we
Do you
hold it.
so
well,
so is
no,
that all that I'm just curious, yeah, do you go to the
no.
store and ever spend it anywhere or do you just hodl?
Yeah.
Then I would have to say HODL, but we do giveaways on our platform, and so I give away even Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other
Yeah.
cryptos
That way
back.
we spend
Yeah,
it.
so we spend it, and idea was also how to get people to use crypto. So if it's Bitcoin, but it could be XRP or Tron or whatever.
Yep.
So we thought if we gave it away, people had to download a wallet, at least a hot wallet, learn how to use it, and use it. So we gave away a few hundred prizes now, and then you have a few hundred people who use it, and they see, okay, you're in Asia, I send you the money, and they have it in maybe a few seconds.
Yeah.
And then they get really excited.
Tell their family,
Yeah, they tell
friends.
their family, friends. Um,
And over there, it also has much more use case
yeah,
than over here because
yeah, unbanked probably. A lot of people, followers of us are also from, for example, the Philippines, and some of them won, I say, $10 or $25 worth of Bitcoin or XRP, and they were really excited. It was
like a month salary.
yeah, yeah, but they also told their friends and family, okay, download a wallet on your mobile phone. Now send you $1. Those people have now have wallets, so you have more adoption. I think that's the only use case, especially
Yeah.
for giveaways.
Because we started in Dutch because we wanted to teach the Dutch public,
Educate them.
but you notice there's a lot less interest in Holland for crypto because there's
2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. But now with the crisis, you notice people are suddenly listening. They say, "Oh, tell me again about that Bitcoin," and that wasn't so a year ago.
No,
Do you
But
see any
in
other coins more interest? Like, do people have more interest in, say, XRP or Tron than Bitcoin or anything? Because I've always told people, and I stand by this completely, is just because Bitcoin, and this is in air quotes, because I'm not, I'm not going to say, and this is personal, but I do believe, just because Bitcoin's the best, the fastest, the cheapest, or whatever, doesn't mean it will reach mass adoption. Because people have to choose to use Bitcoin, and
yeah,
that may not be their reason for choosing. It may be because they like a different logo or a different CEO or a different proof of work or proof of stake. So do you see anything outside of Bitcoin that maybe people are like, oh, that's cool, I like that because of the name or the logo?
MCO and crypto.com.
Oh,
They have
yeah,
a
yeah.
really,
They have their own Visa card.
yeah, yeah, and they have also they have staking, they name it Earn, crypto.com Earn. You can get I think 16% interest on your crypto.com.
and I do
I use it.
discounts on other
Yeah,
cryptos.
they do sometimes 50% discount or 25% discount if you have so much crypto stake on that platform. It really looks good and it works great.
But like with branding, of course, XRP is very well known besides Bitcoin, and Ethereum is also pretty well known
and popular.
and popular. Yeah.
Tron is popular in a lot of countries. Justin Sun is a bit of a
He's good at branding.
Yeah, good at branding, but doesn't always keep his promises. But his content
Justin's
works really
Justin's
well.
a good dude though. I will say that he gets a lot of shit, but I got to hang out with him in China for a couple days, and he's just he's a bro, dude. If you ever met him in person, you'd have a good time hanging out with him. And when I saw that video with Peter McCormick and him talking about buy my shitcoin, yeah, he's exactly that kind of funny, down to earth dude in real life. Like, he's not uptight. He's not going to tell you it's better than Bitcoin. He did a thing to play with something, and it's doing very well, and he's excited. But he's not. I don't know. People give him a lot of shit, and CZ too.
I guess he's maybe also a bit too playful, and people misinterpret his playfulness.
Right. So here's the thing: Charlie, Lee, and Justin have very similar situation with like Litecoin and Tron, right? And Charlie's publicly sold all his. We don't know for sure, but he says he did, and he kind of got away from all the criticism of not being serious enough about Litecoin or taking it too much of a joke. Where Justin still, I think, a lot of people hold him to almost like a CEO kind of level to a stock, right? Like, when Elon Musk smokes a joint on Joe Rogan's podcast and his stocks, go down 20%, people can sue Elon Musk for doing that because he caused that market move by doing something like that so publicly. He knew that it would hurt the company's value. You can't do that to a creator of a blockchain. Holding Justin to that standard, that's very hypocritical of the crypto community, because you want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to be your own bank, but you also want to blame the bank manager? Bro, that's you. Like,
no, that's a good way to look at it. I think we think a lot about stuff like that. We would like to see in the crypto community more that we help each other instead of that we some communities fight. And
there's a lot of tribalism. And a certain amount of tribalism is okay and inevitable, but sometimes it's too much. They just throw mud at each other just for
That's why I have cult leader in my name. I'm my own cult leader. Everybody else is either a part of somebody else's cult or leading their own as well, man. And it's the tribalism it's very toxic, I think, but it's also human nature. Like, so to say like we have to stop being so nasty and be friendly, like that's never gonna work. Humans are always assholes. It doesn't matter if you're a sports fan or a financial fan. If you're on a different team than the team I root for, fuck you. And that's human nature. So we need to embrace the fact that we have hit such a level, and I wouldn't say mass adoption, but like we hit a level of adoption that we have hit that mass statistic that not everybody is a fanboy of everything anymore. And we do have a lot of disagreements and a lot of difference of opinions, which is beautiful. That's a good thing. It's just not good for your portfolio, but that doesn't mean it's not good for the world or for the technology as a whole. It's just not good for the market cap of one thing.
That is true, but sometimes the discussions they become very personalized, like personalized attacks, and then it derives the attention away from the project itself
Dude, that
and to the
happens
person.
in every industry though. Look what happened to Stranger Things. Like the kids got trolled so bad for doing that show by assholes on the internet, on 4chan and Reddit that just wanted to be dicks. And I can't remember the name of the actress in Star Wars. The Asian girl, her sister died on the ship in the one movie. The people trolled her so much, Disney basically kicked her out of the movie. So I mean, every industry, whether it's a fucking Disney movie, Star Wars movie, or a financial industry like crypto, we're going to have very extremes of disagreements and trolling and everything else. And I think that we need to get over the fact that we have to get away from it and dive deeper into it head first. The more disagreements, the more tribalism we have, I think the less we'll have in the future. Let's get it over with. Sort of like that economic planned demolition. We need to do that socially. We have to have like a planned social demolition where we break down these walls, we break down these barriers, and we kind of get through it quicker, sooner rather than later, right? Like we're at still, they say 1% adoption. Okay, could you imagine us having this much disagreement and toxicity at 50% worldwide mass adoption? Wow. It wouldn't work. Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't work. So we need it to happen now at the 1% phase. So let's stop shying away from it and sweeping all this under the rug and embrace the forks. Like I've learned to embrace Bitcoin Cash and BSV. They're alternatives, but they're still Bitcoin. They're just different versions of Bitcoin.
You have to lose a lot of the 6,000 or so tokens for a crypto project. I think we could do with maybe 50 or 60. Like that, with the trash.
We do have a little bit too much.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So, what are your guys' thoughts on stable coins, man? Do you are you trading in and out of stable coins or utilizing them at all, or do you actually hedge?
We're also thinking about it. We're thinking about it, but I don't personally, but it's personal, but I don't really like stable coins. So I sometimes use another coin if I follow the fundamentals and I think, Chainlink is going up and I think my Cardano is going down. Then I sell them for the other one.
Yeah, seesaw or ride the waves. So what is it about stable coins that you don't like? That I mean, they are more permissionless than fiat, right? Yeah, but you have permissionless fiat now. I have the private key to my dollar bill. I have the power of crypto without the weakness of volatility. I am Superman without kryptonite.
Well, it reminds me too much of fiat money, so that's why I'm not very fond of
so them. So it's philosophical.
Yeah. It's more a feeling than and it's logical, I think.
I respect that.
Probably make a lot of money by using stablecoins, by going in and out at the right moments and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And I also think like the CBDCs will probably function like stablecoins.
Yeah.
And I think there might be a situation that they, like in the past, when things went wrong in the financial system, they used gold to devalue against, to get inflation at the right amount and then to prevent the price of gold. But now you have, I say, like digital gold, you just mentioned it, but you do have like a digital gold you can't print. So maybe those CBDCs, they can devalue against Bitcoin.
That is potential, actually, especially if you're looking at like a futures market where people could be hedging on it and betting on it and not so much fully involved, just like speculatory involvement where I don't have to actually hold Bitcoin. Because that's what I love about the futures market, where people don't want the risk of actually owning it, but they want to be involved in it. And I wasn't a big fan of the futures for a longest time. Obviously, I mean, the futures market clearly caused the Bitcoin price crash. I mean, it's too obvious. But again, it was rather then than now. I mean, shit, would you imagine if they introduced the futures market today to Bitcoin? Or would you rather it happen at 20K and have it done and over with?
Yeah, true. I bought some Bitcoin when it went down to 3,000.
I earned some, but yeah, about the same. I can't buy any. People ask me all the time, like, dude, how do you buy Bitcoin? I'm like, I don't buy it. I have sponsors like Monarch Token or
Introduce
CoinFlip.
us.
Yeah, man, for sure. But like that's the thing is like I don't buy it, I earn it, and I have to spend it because I never have dollars. I haven't had dollars in years, so I always am
Wow.
spending my crypto. So people always look at me and they're like, "Oh, you must be rich." I'm like, if I lived for free and people always bought me my meals and paid for my bills, yeah, I'd be rich. But no, I have to spend it. So I was spending the Bitcoin as I was earning it, unfortunately. But yeah, I use Bitwage. Have you ever heard of Bitwage?
No, no.
There's
So
so many.
if you like work at McDonald's and they want to give you a
Yeah.
direct deposit, you can use Bitwage to get direct deposit from McDonald's and get Bitcoin at the end.
Oh wow.
Oh, so they really have that option for you if you want to get paid like that.
Yeah,
Your
and you could
wage.
have percentages. Yeah, you could have like 50% Bitcoin, 50%, dollars,
Well,
and
that's a good thing about America. I mean, there's also some, you're always like innovating, and there's room for people to experiment like that.
Choose.
You can't do that in Holland.
Not yet.
wait, whoa. What's holding back blockchain evolution in Holland, legislation
Well,
wise?
regulation. I
Yeah.
mean, that's the drawback of Europe. Regulation is everywhere. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Things get regulated to death, even to the size of a cucumber.
Hmm.
You know, so
It has to be this size, this thick.
So you guys
this
don't
color
see
blue.
people sort of like how we had here in the US during the ICO boom. We saw a lot of people head out to the Cayman Islands. A lot of LLCs, companies that were established here in the US left
Yeah.
and had now established themselves as a Cayman Islands corporation. So
like real vision.
yeah, but like,
I love
so maybe is the legislation potentially there inspiring like a think tank leak where a lot of the innovators are leaving the area to go innovate other places?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could happen, but we have to wait what happens in November because you can apply now as a blockchain company or a crypto company for a permit
Yeah.
to sell and hold cryptocurrencies. And I think it's at the same moment that in November they're gonna give you the green light or gonna give you the red light. And I personally think, don't know it for sure, but that the banks will start holding Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, XRP, and some other altcoins on your bank account.
Yeah.
And I think then everything's going to change. Then we're going to have mass adoption in Holland because everyone can buy and hold crypto on their normal bank account.
And also, I think there comes a moment, and maybe it's already there, that a lot of central banks are mining Bitcoin themselves. For the moment,
Or energy companies. Yeah.
like a diversification, like gold itself. Why not Bitcoin?
Yeah, we
But
just
they
found
can't
out here in the
really-
U.S. Wall Street's been buying Bitcoin, and now I think they have about 500,000 Bitcoin in Wall Street,
Yeah.
and they've been doing that silently while very publicly saying Bitcoin's a scam.
Yeah, Bitcoin is shit.
Yeah, but that's, I think, also, when you try to explain it to people, a lot of people hear from the mainstream media from Bitcoin is trash, it's garbage, it's criminal, it's blah blah blah. But on the other hand, they themselves are doing the exact opposite, what they're telling the public. So they can buy it on the cheap.
Yeah, well, this same thing happened during the internet boom, the .com boom. A lot of the mainstream media was telling people to sell your internet stocks. Nobody's using the internet. It's broken. And then the next year, everybody was just screwed because they got bought out, so...
Yeah.
I mean, that's and I think that's what's happening with a lot of the regulations and legislation here in the U.S. with these companies, with CZ, he bought CoinMarketCap. That's insane. We had Goldman Sachs buy fucking Poloniex, right? Or not? Yeah, it was Goldman Sachs Circle.
Yeah.
They bought Poloniex, right? Or something.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So they're trying their best to suffocate the companies so they can buy them out and then use that. Yep. And I think while we're at this pinnacle point of a potential worldwide, I would say depression, a recession. We would skip that right to a depression state. It would have two potential motivators for crypto, and one is the banks don't have any other choice. Like they're going to have to experiment outside of their wheelhouse. and that could mean maybe a state token or a country token and
Yeah,
replacing the banks with independent staking models. Why would
yeah,
I need to go to the bank to have a savings account when I could just stake my government issued
yeah,
cryptocurrency and get
yeah.
dividends for staking my money just like interest from my bank account? And now the
That's
government
funny
can
because
cut, because governments don't like banks. They are not friends. I think people are very mistaken when they think like the banks and the government are the same. No, no, no. That's like McDonald's and Burger King. They are straight competitors. They
yeah,
just
true.
look like they're on the same team.
Yeah, yeah, but the Dutch central bank they ran into a problem with their tests on creating a CBDC because one thing they found out if they would launch a CBDC, and one thing it would disrupt banking sector because could use the CBDC directly without going to a private bank.
Yeah.
But also in a crisis, it could actually undermine the economy because everybody would flee into the CBDC.
That's a
By
good
fiat.
point.
Yeah.
So
they,
why not cause the economic crisis and get it over with so they can flee
Yeah.
to it now? And
Sure.
we can see the writing on the wall. The problem is we look like conspiracy theorists, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it all sounds so far fetched that by the time, and it's been reiterated and spoken about and just plastered so many times through so many different outlets from like Max Kaiser, RTTV,
Yeah.
so many places, and then we have the mainstream, having their different narrative, kind of confusing the masses. By the time it comes, we could see one of two things happen: either people embracing centralized currency, or people embracing decentralized currency. There's only
Yeah.
I mean, literally the only two options we have moving forward.
Sure.
But either way, we're going to have a digital currency. That's inevitable.
Yeah.
people
No,
will get blindsided.
we have one really strange other theory because of the upcoming space mining, like companies like Blue Origin and SpaceX and stuff, that they will start mining for materials in space. So normal stuff like gold or platinum won't be as valuable.
I've heard a really interesting argument about this though. Because of the cost to actually mine it, it may balance out the value factor of the scarcity and supply and demand. Say it's going to cost $10 billion to get to the asteroid and back with X amount of gold. That's going to go into the cost of the gold, and that could actually increase the value of the gold here on Earth.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Didn't look at
right,
it that
right. I didn't think of that either. I was totally in your boat until I heard about the potential, and then once you start to, and this is going into fungibility. Once you start to mix around space gold with Earth gold, it doesn't really matter which one's which, and people will probably value Earth gold as they do space gold. You don't know where it came from, but if you can prove that this gold nugget came from an asteroid, it'll be way more valuable than a piece of gold that came out of Earth.
Tokenize it.
That's going to be the hard part. We're going to need, and I think to tokenize physical things, which is a cool segue, guys, to tokenize physical things, I think we need better IoT. Without physical Internet of Things, to take out that garbage in, garbage out, human error, supply chain shit that happens, you could tokenize space gold, but how do I know that you didn't tamper with it or some way? Like, I have these really cool Tangent cards. I don't know if you ever heard of these guys.
Yes.
Okay, nice.
This is awesome. But yeah, you could put maybe like a NFC chip inside of a piece of gold, melt it around, have it maybe so if anybody reheats it, something triggers and it knows that it was melted. All of that speculate. I mean, you could talk about that technology on acid for hours, but like until that's created, I don't think we're going to be able to tokenize physical things as much as people really would like.
I think that's also why they're rolling out 5G, of course.
Exactly, that's what we need. Again, we need all of these things. 5G is probably the fundamental foundation of our physical environment to complement that digital environment that we have established already with blockchain.
But like with robotics and AI, there's a lot of public resistance to that idea
of 5G.
Yeah. So it's a good thing we're all locked inside our houses.
Not all of us. Some people are going out to burn down the 5G
Yeah, that's
towers.
crazy. It happens in
Yeah.
Holland as well,
Yeah,
in the
here in the
Netherlands.
US, people are doing it all around the world. People are kind of going out and about and destroying 5G towers.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't understand it personally. I get the speculation, I get the concern, but I
yeah,
don't think people realize that they sound like my grandmom. You know, like
yeah,
5G's giving you cancer. Like that's exactly what my grandma would tell me if I was standing too close to the fucking microwave. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that
yeah. That's true.
microwave's gonna make you go blind, and I'm watching the water boils. I gotta stop it. I'm not. We've been using microwaves. We're fine. Like I mean, I get the concern. I just don't understand people going out and burning down the towers when I mean, without them, driving self-driving cars don't work. Without
So, yeah,
5G, we cannot have secure self-driving cars. And if we don't have safe self-driving cars, we're only going to keep having more vehicular deaths. We just had the whole world go on lockdown because of a couple tens of thousands of deaths. Millions of
yeah,
people die in car accidents every fucking day, and
yeah,
we don't
true.
shut down traffic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's strange. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
so.
how about we focus on the cars that are killing people and we
Yeah,
take the humans from behind the wheel, give it a little bit of AI, and yeah, I mean, like, the amount of care that people have during this COVID pandemic, I feel like they could have expressed it if they did give this much of a shit a lot earlier. You know, like every winter, maybe you wear a mask, but why start now? Like, every year I get the flu. Like, I go to a lot of I go to a lot of Bitcoin
wow.
conferences. I don't like to shake hands, and it feels like an insult. A lot of people like are insulted. I do the fist bump or I'll
Yeah,
hug you, but I'm not going to shake your hand. And people like, especially like CEOs and like the founders of a blockchain project, like go to shake your hand, and you're just like, I'm rock beats
I can
paper,
do that,
like
man.
whatever. This is the only time rock beats paper. You got to do fist bump. I've been like that for a while because I get sick every time I go to a conference. But
Wow.
people that are
Yeah,
worried about getting sick now, like I went to Burger King the other day, and the people at the counter and the people behind the counter weren't wearing masks. They were wearing their gloves,
yeah,
but they weren't wearing a mask. And I didn't give a shit. But my cousin, he cared, and I'm like, bro, why didn't you care all the time? Like the
yeah,
person making your burger could have given you the flu any year, but now this
yeah,
is the year you care that they don't wear a mask.
Yeah.
yeah.
But you see how easily people are also influenced, how you can,
It depends. Yeah, it
yeah,
depends who brings the message.
It's easier now
Government
to
tells you
influence people
anyway.
than ever because they have nothing
Yeah,
to do but watch programming and get
yeah,
programmed all day, every day. They don't even get to tap out and go outside. They have to stay programmed
for
all day
screen. Yeah,
programming.
that's very
yeah.
interesting as well. Yeah,
I also know some people with the COVID crisis that they don't even dare to go outside anymore. They're
Right.
so scared of what's happening outside that you say, oh, you can still walk outside. No, no, no,
it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
dangerous.
Watch
Yup.
out.
There's
It
people on the
started. It started with ideology, self censorship, where people would self censor their words or
Yeah,
their actions, even if it was no one's watching. They started to self censor themselves out of fear of
yeah,
social, critique. And now we're
Yeah,
starting to do it physically, where people will horde mentality. You'll have 50 people. Shame on you. Get off the bus. And in Philadelphia, a man gets thrown off, physically ripped off of a bus with violence for not
wow.
wearing a mask. But this is the people choosing, to have this herd of an opinion, right? And I'm
Yeah,
hoping it flips because last night in Philly, right down the street, there was a Wawa that was robbed by somebody who was wearing a mask because you're not allowed in Wawa without a mask on.
yeah, true.
And he
yeah.
pulled a gun out. He robbed the store and everybody in it and left. What did he look like? He looked like everybody because we're all wearing
Yeah,
masks.
yeah, yeah. Well, there are jokes online with you cannot enter with a mask before COVID, and now with COVID you cannot enter without.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to bite the banks in the ass. There's no way
True.
that doesn't make sense because like I'm not big on like the whole facial recognition software stuff, but
No.
like the fact that the government just said everybody has to wear a mask
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
weird.
makes it feel like that conspiracy theory wasn't really real. Like, no, they don't care about facial recognition, obviously, because they want us all wearing masks. And now you're gonna have these criminals with a light bulb go off over their head. You know, where wait, I'm not allowed in the bank without a mask on, and I
Yeah,
have to have gloves on. Oh,
yeah.
this is too easy. And I think that
It's
herd
true.
mentality may actually trigger it the other way.
Backfire.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
may backfire horribly.
Well, and I think socially it's very sad for people to not have physical contact with their family and friends.
Especially the elderly
Yeah.
who are hit hardest.
Yeah, and the young people. If you're in your teens and you want to go out and party, now you have to stay at home with your parents all day long. Can't go to school, can't go to parties, not go to the cinema. You cannot do anything. Even
Everybody's embracing Ready Player One.
yeah,
Yeah.
I heard. I'm working as a manager in a supermarket, and I asked a girl, what do you do now? And she said, well, me and my friends, we get on FaceTime and we all get a bottle of liquor and we'll drink on our own in front of a camera. I said, what? And they get wasted in front of a camera and then they just pass out in front of their iPhones. Yeah.
I think I see. I don't. I'm waiting for somebody to fall asleep during one of these live streams. Forget that they were live streaming, and then wake up to go to the bathroom, come back, and go to and do something. I don't know. It's going. Yo, you know what's funny is, and it's awful I say this, but it is funny because like I found one thing that I can truly focus on, and it brings me joy through all the shit. It's everybody's ingenuitivity of masks. The different masks. I've been seeing bras, thongs, baby underwear, diapers, people that wear goggles. Oh, they're my favorite. Anybody that's wearing swimming goggles. Oh, thank you for going out in public. I really appreciate it. And this inspired me. I don't know if you saw it on my Twitter, but I think I coined the phrase quarantine. Like Halloween, but quarantine. And I was dressed up in my onesie with the mask on, the bandana, and I had my staff and everything. And I mean, like, dude,
I think it's great for Star Wars fans because now they can finally dress up as Darth Vader.
Everybody can though. Every day is Halloween now, bro.
Yeah.
Every single day is Halloween. So like, I think I've been able to embrace that. I think that that's been my like silver lining. I think more people, if you go out to go shopping, wear your Halloween costume or just put your underwear on the outside of your pants and just when somebody's walking down aisle 7 to go get, diapers because their baby's crying at home and you're down that aisle and they see, you're going to bring them so much joy. And I think that's what we need. So like my cousin, he was like, you're not embarrassed to go out like that? And I'm like, they can't see my face. Nobody knows who I am. I just look like a ridiculous character that's, making people laugh. And that's it. And I feel like, maybe more people could do that. And I think that we can have some fun with this. I made some t-shirts. I don't know if you saw my Twitter feed before the live stream, but I did make some swag. So I got straight out of Wuhan t-shirts and hoodies. I got Thanks China t-shirts. I know that it's too taboo to take things as a joke too soon, but who the fuck is the person that's gonna tell me that it's too soon? We've been locked down so long, bro, and like it's felt like such a joke for so many of us. And I know that they say thousands of people keep dying every day, or hundreds of people keep dying every day. That is a sad fact. That is awful, and it's fucked up. But again, car accidents and cigarettes and people die every day outside of the COVID-19. Right. Yeah. So like if we focus on the dark and miserable, the world will become a dark and miserable place.
That's true.
It's always it's always been ugly. The world's always been ugly. People are always dying every day. We don't have to fucking focus on it all day, every day. We don't have to make it the only thing the news talks about is death. That's
But I think it's very important what you're saying, because people are gonna get depressed and scared of the world instead of they see the beautiful side. The sun is shining now. We always stay positive. Also, yeah, it doesn't
suicide
matter
rates
what
are up
happens.
almost 3 to 4 times or something. Like
Yeah,
local police have been dealing with 1 to 5 suicides a day or something instead of like
that's sad.
monthly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think you have to look at the bright side of things and see what we can change the world every day a little bit by doing something ourselves, and you have to focus on what you can do to change your own future, but maybe help some other people along the way. If it's with positivity or making fun or making jokes
Or
or
spreading crypto.
spreading the word of crypto, the
Right.
crypto word. Yeah,
No, that's the thing is people are out there using this for that. I saw somebody actually made COVID-19 NFTs. I saw
yeah,
non-fungible tokens with like COVID-19 memes or like advice like wash your hands for 20 seconds
yeah,
and I think that is fucking awesome. Like
yeah,
uh
yeah,
you see these celebrities talking about like, making a YouTube video song about washing your hands or something and it goes viral. And I'm like, all right, cool. That's one way to spread information. But then we have the
yeah,
crypto community, and I know like the way you said it was almost like sarcasm, like, and we have crypto too to like lift the world, like, but we really do.
yeah,
Like
true.
people are using this to do the same thing. I'm dressing up physically to go out shopping and make people laugh. Then we have other
Yeah,
people doing it digitally with NFTs
yeah,
that are just like memes of something so serious. But then again, we have, kids all around the country, singing Ring Around the Rosie, Pocket Full of Po. That is a depressing fucking song. But it's a meme. It is a meme that
yeah,
brought joy from a fucking tragedy, bro. And I
yeah,
think that Ring Around the Rosie was their NFT or their, their troll. That was a meme that people came
yeah,
up with to kind of make a joke out of an awful situation. And, we're going to have our own Ring Around the Rosie moment, and it could potentially be an NFT.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did an NFT with Aldel lately with Bitcoin Live logo. We didn't know if anybody wanted to have it, so it's but it worked out really well. So that's cool. So it's just the creativity of things and yeah, making plans and having fun.
And the guy didn't know what came over when all
No,
those
yeah.
people said yes.
Yeah, I think about 100 followers and went up to 500 in maybe 2 days. So it was no, 7 days. It was 7 days action. One day, each day, one person could win one Bitcoin Live NFT, and
So it's nice to push somebody like that.
so
That's
we didn't have any expectancy of it, and it turned out really nicely. But it's just nice in the crypto community as well that you can just tag someone and ask them to collaborate with you, and then
They do.
Yeah, they do, and we try to make something of it, and yeah, that's just a lot of fun to do. It's
Yeah,
just
we have
very
Ernest in the chat said he wanted to see if he could talk to you guys about your farmers markets and potentially helping you get your local farmers markets to accept cryptocurrency. So, Ernest, reach out to the guys on Twitter and maybe shout them out or give them a DM. I don't know if your DMs are open or not, but
yeah, they are open.
there you
Always
go.
open.
Yeah, Ernest, definitely do that, man. I know you guys were gonna do a giveaway. I didn't know how you
Yeah.
were gonna do that. Did you just want to do it on the live stream, or were you doing it after? Or?
Yeah, it would be great to do it after, because I cannot see now who yeah, participated in it.
Oh, got
We're
got
going
you.
to give, yeah, we're going to give away I think $25 of worth of Bitcoin.
He's the
Afterwards.
marketeer. He's
Yeah.
a promoter.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, if you guys are interested in winning some Bitcoin, definitely make sure you check out their Twitter account. Do you each have your own Twitter? I take it, right?
Yeah. I'm at Dalmulder,
And I'm Crypto Envy.
and we'll send it to you in a DM after the show. So you have them and you can put them down in the description box.
Yep.
And then your followers and our followers can win $25 worth of Bitcoin. And I'll ask them a question about your podcast so we can see if they watched you. And,
All right, cool. All right, well, I'm interested to see what the question is. That's probably going to be the best part for me, honestly.
It's going to be something about goggles.
All right, guys. So let's see if we have any question. I'm gonna go over the chat, make sure nothing else. I saw Ernest had that question. I really wanted to make sure I got to him. Let's see. Jeremy Crow, shout out to you, bro. Thanks for joining the live stream,
Yeah.
everybody. See these guys here. We got Elfari says, glad to see Jen and Nick live.
Nice. Thanks.
I think I butchered that name horribly. I'm sorry.
It's difficult.
Oh, Ernest said that there is a COVID Rhapsody song, like Bohemian Rhapsody, on YouTube. So, yeah,
Oh,
I think that's going to be
yeah.
the song I listen to after this. All right,
Yeah.
guys. Jan, Nick, man, guys, thank you so much for coming on and shooting this shit. It was awesome getting to know you guys, man.
Yeah, same here.
Look, if you guys ever have any conferences after this whole lockdown thing's over in Amsterdam, make sure you let me know because I do travel. I travel quite a bit to different events. So I'd love to get out there, meet you guys in person, and just see what it's like to vibe crypto in Amsterdam.
And we'll show you around, maybe show you some coffee shops if you like. And we have some great beer. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to check out that. Is that red light district still a thing? I heard rumors that like
it's not an NFT, it's still real.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, I just want to go and just window shopping. Looks like the tourist attraction, right?
Yeah, it still exists.
Oh, thanks for keeping that hope alive for me because I heard rumors that it didn't exist anymore.
You can pay with Bitcoin.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about, and this is the thing, right? You go in to one of those. I've done this, not to keep the live stream going too long, but I have done this where, in Vegas, I was at a strip club called Club 11, and it's like Miami's biggest strip club, and I paid the dancers in Dash, but because I offered, hear me out, I offered them 20% premium on whatever their fees were. So if they said it was $100, I gave them $120 in Dash. And they saw that and was like, why? And how do I cash in and cash out and use it? I'm like, well, there's crypto, Bitcoin, or Dash ATM machines all over. There's a Bitcoin conference going on. You can go up to any nerd with glasses. They'll buy the crypto off of you and give you cash, or you could hold on to it. So I actually got every dance that night with crypto because I offered a premium. And I think, you know, sex work industry, red light district stuff, or even, you know, tattoo parlors, service industry. If you want to really get somebody to download a crypto wallet, like, or a Bitcoin wallet, offer them more than what they expected in the dollars.
Yeah. And it's also like fringe and cool, you know. It's like you can say, I got paid with Bitcoin or Dash or Monero or whatever.
Facts.
They'll like that. They'll like it.
That is true. It's still trendy enough. It's trendy enough that it's just the cool factor adds to the value. It's almost I don't know if there's a word for pre-nostalgia. You know, like where things are all right. Like as soon as you see something, you're like, oh, this is going to be a part of my life forever. You know, it's almost like that, where it's like it's so meta now to tell somebody like, you know, I got paid in Bitcoin, and it's what. Like,
what?
And like I mentioned earlier, if you work at McDonald's, you can get paid in Bitcoin. You know, BITWAG, bit wage. You can get paid
we'll check it out.
In Bitcoin.
It's actually a reason to go work at McDonald's. Yeah.
Yo, and the reason I'm mentioning this is a lot of people are going to get jobs at Amazon, and a lot of places are going to be hiring after this. I don't want to see all their value going into fractional reserve banking. You know,
No.
that's why I like getting paid in crypto. Is my life's energy never goes into the banking system. The hours I spend accumulating value, I never give that to the banks. I take it right out of their world economy and put it into my own. And I think people need to realize that more themselves, man. Ernest said, is it Crypto MD?
Crypto ND. Yeah, from Nick. Nick and
ND.
Yeah.
Crypto ND, bro. There you go.
So initials.
Yeah, the initials. There you go, Ernest. I see you in the chat, man. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Let you guys go. What time is it over there?
It's about a 7:15, 10. Yeah, 10. 7:20.
What? Yeah,
Evening.
it's 1:20 here.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm going to enjoy lunch.
Same.
You enjoy dinner, and
Yeah.
dude, let's do this again sometime.
Yeah.
Schedule any
Great.
day. You got the link to the calendar.
Yeah.
Anytime you want to come on the podcast, you're
Oh,
welcome.
wow.
I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah.
It was really good chat. Had a lot of fun, man. Thanks again, everybody,
Yeah.
for tuning in. I appreciate everybody keeping the chat alive. We're out of here. Have a day.
Yeah. Same here. Peace out. Bye.
Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review. Available for Android and iOS devices. bravocoin.com. CoinFlip, the world's best Bitcoin ATM. Better service, better fees. Better visit coinflip.tech today. New Era Social Media. Get paid. Not an expert.